little tattletales, listen, sit down, we gotta talk. New information on what happened in closing arguments with Blac Chyna's attorney and judge. Listen, we gotta talk about the judge. There's something wrong with that man. There is something going on, and we have to ask ourselves, has he picked sides? But more importantly than that, you guys, it looks like this literally might be going more and more for a mistrial. Remember those defamation claims against Kim Kardashian, who were the biggest claims in the trial? Guess what? The judge left them off of jury instructions and then refused to put them back in. We had reports that the judge did add in additional instructions, but he refused to put them in, let Michael put in all these instructions that didn't make sense, lost control of the courtroom, and guess what? It ended with a huge yelling argument in the courtroom, so much so that the judge got up and walked out the room. You guys, let's get into this, but before we do, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, Also, it's YouTube, baby. Y'all know how it works. More importantly, my email address is tsatells@gmail.com. You have any hints? Have any stories you want me to look at? I respond to everybody. Make sure you email me and turn your notifications on, because me and Court Chronicles are going to be going live with the verdict. But we have to get this out. You guys, this is bad for Blac Chyna's case. There's no other way about it. And if Blac Chyna does not get the amount that she wants, my sources are telling me, and these are legal sources, saying that Lynn will almost have no choice but to move for a mistrial or go into appeals, because you guys, again, the judge being corrupt, the judge taking bribes, there's been rumors. There's no actual proof. However, there is proof even in this trial of the judge being incompetent. And when you are in charge of someone's health, their justice, their livelihood, and you are incompetent, to me, that is even more dangerous than being corrupt or taking bribes. Because if you're corrupt and taking bribes, you have a legal remedy to get back. You can prove they were corrupt. You can prove they took bribes. But if you are just incompetent, it's so nefarious, it's hard to grasp on anything legally and actually get either an appeal or a mistrial. But guys, let's get into this because it is deep. Now, the first clue we had was reports saying that Kim scored a huge victory when the instructions read to jurors before deliberations failed to spell out how Kim might have defamed Chyna, effectively taking Kim off the hook for the defamation claim. The defamation claim is the biggest claim against Kim, and she is suing Kim for more money than anyone, okay? Get this, Lynn Chyna objected to the omission out of the presence of the jury, and the judge said it was too late. But no. Let's roll it back, because that is just glancing over what happened. Get this. The judge in the trial was having a huge argument with Lynn Chyna. That's Chyna's attorney. Get this. The claim of Kim Kardashian making a defamatory statement was not included in jury instructions, and Chyna started arguing. This was a 10-minute argument, and Chyna basically cursed that judge out. Normally, she's very sure, Your Honor, but she even knew this was so pivotal that she had to take a stand, and she did. She went to war. She filed a motion and claimed Kim Kardashian is on the hook for defamation. That evidence came into court. It was part of the pleadings. How did the judge leave that off? Seriously, how did he leave it off? It was through his own negligence at best. At worst, whose side are you on? Because every decision you've made has benefited Kim's camp, even when it didn't make sense. The way that they sat there and said, and you know what? No lie, he's a huge Trump supporter. Kim's a Trump supporter. I don't want to start conspiracy theories, but I'm just saying, even down to whether, I lost my thought. Even down to whether the evidence for income with the E-Network was a trade secret. And the judge literally said, sorry, that's a trade secret. And it's like, since when has profits been a trade secret? Honestly, since when? Lynn Chyna said she wasn't giving a chance to argue jury instructions. But Judge Alcaran said he was. When nobody remembers, there's no way. He's accusing basically Blac Chyna's lawyer of gross incompetence, putting something on the motion to start the trial, arguing it in court, and then leaving it off jury instructions. That doesn't make any sense. argued loudly in court for 10 minutes before the judge got frustrated and finally walked away. The judge got up and walked out of chambers because he was called out, rightly so, by Blac Chyna for this travesty of justice. At best, this is incompetent. At worst, what is going on? This makes no sense. What is going on? Now get this. The judge literally ripped his mask off. This fool ripped his mask off and literally stormed out of the courtroom. Chyna stayed on him and argued her case even while he was walking off. And I hope the court reporter got all of this. Again, like Court Chronicles talked about, sometimes if a judge okays something without actually saying it and it's not a record, you don't have a grounds to appeal. I pray to God this does not jeopardize Chyna actually getting her justice. However, it looks more and more and more like Lynn is going to push for that mistrial if Chyna does not get justice. Now, the jury was out of the room while this was all happening, right? And get this, Chyna and the Kardashians were not in the courtroom yet. The only people there were reporters. Chyna and the Kardashians were not in the room yet. Michael Rhodes, the Boris Johnson wannabe, and claimed the judge was right. I think the judge is right. Shut up, Michael. Ain't nobody talking to you, Otis. Anyway, for anybody, anyway, and was able to take the alleged defamatory text from Kim out of the jury instructions after the evidence had been reviewed by court. Listen, literally, the judge then screamed at Lynn, "I don't want to be responsible for your trial tactics," and stormed out of court. Michael Rhodes has been acting like the biggest stunt queen in there, even admitting hearsay, even literally asking about her purses, her income. The judge approved her income to literally been given to the Kardashian attorney. They went through they even checked probably what color underwear she had on that day. And then said in the jury instructions, income of both parties don't matter, but Chyna's mattered. You literally let Michael get away with everything he could. And finally, when Lynn says the whole point of this is defamation, why else will we come to court? Why did you leave this out? He says, it's too late. Sorry. Move on. And then Michael Rhodes, I agree, Your Honor. You guys, this was a mess. This was a mess. The judge ran a horrible courtroom. There are hundreds of reviews online about the judge being incompetent, not knowing the law, not knowing this, not knowing that. That is on top of his clerk reporter, Mrs. Mason, being fired from that case. His court clerk, the one that's really supposed to know the law, because she was a fangirl and a groupie for the Kardashians. And get this, when Lynn first brought that up, the judge tried to act like it was no big deal. It wasn't because Lynn forced him to rule on it. Did she have to be removed? And the next morning, she was quietly removed. No one's talking about that. Nobody's also talking about the fact that judge has yet to subpoena or sanction Michael Rhodes at all for bringing in nude pictures of Chyna and leaving them laying around so that people could have, when they both had pre-trial stipulations, that those pictures would not be used and would not be brought into court. You guys, this is on top of him denying Chyna the right to redo her testimony. You guys, this fight is not over. We pray the jury takes a while, does the homework, comes back with math for Chyna. I pray to God that math for Chyna is a number that makes sense for her. But if not, Lynn right now is geared up. She's ready for war. She's cursed that judge out. She's ready for war. And at this point, we need to be side-eyeing Judge Alcaron, because again, there are no formal things of corruption and bribery, but no one can deny the fact that right now, from the outside looking in, it looks like his courtroom, in my opinion, is being run. It's a circus. It's a farm. It's a shame. It's a shamble. It's a travesty. You guys, let's put prayers up to Chyna. And listen, doesn't matter whether you like Chyna or not. Let's put prayers up that a worker that was unfairly fired because a billionaire family didn't like her actually gets her due worth. Okay? Today's at Chyna. Pray to God tomorrow it's not you. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. See you soon.